Imagine someone who seems deeply spiritual, always engaged in self-improvement and often leading group meditations or discussions about spiritual growth. But what if their spirituality is actually serving their self-esteem more than their true self-awareness? This introduces us to the concept of spiritual narcissism, a subtle yet profound form of narcissism that cloaks itself in the robes of spiritual practices. Unlike general narcissism, which is often blatant in its self-centeredness, spiritual narcissism is tricky. It merges the quest for enlightenment with the ego's desires, creating a complex challenge in both understanding and overcoming it. Today we'll explore how this affects individuals and communities, setting the stage for a deeper understanding of why this topic is increasingly relevant in our contemporary spiritual dialogues. We'll also outline what you can expect from this video series as we dive deep into the roots and solutions of spiritual narcissism. Moving deeper into our exploration, let's consider the ego's intricate role within spiritual practices. The ego, often seen as our sense of self-importance, can subtly infiltrate even the most sincere spiritual efforts. It's vital to recognize that while spiritual practices aim to transcend the ego, they can unintentionally feed it. This paradox is at the heart of why spiritual narcissism is so challenging to identify and address. We'll look at how seemingly humble practices like meditation or communal rituals can sometimes enhance an individual's ego if the underlying intentions aren't carefully examined. This segment aims to shed light on these dynamics, helping us understand how the pursuit of enlightenment can be diverted by the very ego it seeks to overcome. As we continue, let's focus on how to identify spiritual narcissism in ourselves and in others. Recognizing these signs is the first step toward understanding and mitigating its effects in spiritual communities. Common signs include a constant need for spiritual validation, using spiritual language to justify egocentric behavior, and diminishing others' spiritual experiences while elevating one's own. We will also dispel some common misconceptions, such as the belief that highly spiritual people cannot be narcissistic, and provide clear, practical advice on how to approach these delicate situations. This part of our discussion is crucial for anyone involved in spiritual practices, as it helps cultivate a healthier, more inclusive environment. Now let's dive into how narcissism manifests across various spiritual settings and its impact on spiritual communities. Narcissism within these contexts can often lead to distorted teachings and practices where the focus shifts from collective enlightenment to personal gain and recognition. We'll explore how narcissistic behaviors affect the dynamics within these communities, leading to divisions and a toxic environment. This segment will also address how different spiritual beliefs intersect with narcissistic tendencies, showing how personal interpretations of spiritual texts and teachings can be skewed by narcissistic perspectives. Understanding these dimensions is crucial for anyone involved in spiritual leadership or community roles to ensure they foster a genuinely supportive and growth-oriented environment. In this part of our exploration, we will discuss the historical and cultural origins of the term fallen as it relates to spirituality, and how this concept applies to spiritual narcissism. The term often implies a departure from an ideal or pure state and is frequently used in religious and spiritual contexts to describe a decline into less virtuous conditions. We'll look at how this idea can be metaphorically applied to individuals who may fall into the traps of spiritual narcissism, prioritizing their ego over true spiritual growth. Additionally, this segment will cover the moral and ethical implications associated with being fallen in the spiritual sense, emphasizing the consequences of such a state on personal integrity and community harmony. This part of our series delves into the steps and practices that can help individuals overcome narcissistic tendencies within a spiritual context. We'll explore actionable methods such as mindfulness, self-reflection, and community support that encourage genuine spiritual growth and personal transformation. By hearing stories from those who have successfully navigated their way out of the depths of spiritual narcissism, we aim to provide not only inspiration, but also practical advice. This segment highlights the importance of continuous self-awareness and the benefits it brings not just to individuals, but to their wider spiritual communities as well. Next, we explore the dangers of feeling spiritually superior, an issue that can have profound effects on individual well-being and the health of spiritual communities. This segment will discuss the real-life consequences of such attitudes, which often lead to discord and a lack of genuine connection among community members. We'll also provide insights into how individuals and communities can cultivate humility and a more authentic spirituality. By understanding these dangers, we aim to encourage an environment where all members feel valued and where spiritual practices promote true growth and understanding. In this segment, we delve into practical guidance for balancing spiritual growth with ego control. We'll introduce techniques that help maintain self-awareness and authenticity, ensuring that spiritual practices enhance true personal development rather than ego gratification. Strategies from various spiritual traditions will be discussed, highlighting how each approach deals with the challenge of keeping the ego in check while pursuing spiritual enlightenment. By learning to navigate these waters, individuals can foster a more profound and genuine spiritual connection that supports both personal and communal well-being. This part of our series highlights powerful narratives from individuals who have successfully overcome spiritual narcissism. We will explore their journeys, detailing the challenges they faced and the insights they gained through their recovery. By sharing these stories, we aim to illuminate the pivotal role that mentors, guides, and supportive community members play in helping individuals break free from narcissistic behaviors. These stories not only provide hope and inspiration, but also practical lessons on the importance of humility, self-awareness, and genuine spiritual connection in overcoming narcissism. As we conclude this series, we summarize the key points we've discussed about spiritual narcissism, from recognizing its signs to overcoming its challenges. It's essential to continue reflecting on these ideas and to remain vigilant in our spiritual practices to ensure they serve true growth rather than the ego. We encourage everyone to delve deeper into the resources available on this topic and to keep learning and evolving. If you found this series helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for more insightful content, and share it with others who might benefit from these discussions. Your support helps us bring more such content to you. Remember, the journey of personal and spiritual growth is ongoing, and together we can make it a transformative one.